Welcome, brave souls, to the unvarnished truth. Forget the cute documentaries and the cuddly plush toys. Today, we're ripping back the curtain on a life so relentlessly harsh, so utterly devoid of joy, it makes your Monday morning commute look like a spa day. Prepare yourselves because we're about to dive headfirst into the nightmare of being born a meerkat. You burst into existence in a cramped, suffocating hole, deep beneath the scorching desert floor. Blind, deaf, and utterly helpless, your tiny body is a bundle of raw instinct and primal fear. There's no gentle lullaby, no soft blanket, just the gritty reality of sand in your fur and the distant rumble of a world that wants you dead. You can't see the sun, can't hear the wind, and definitely can't scream for help because your vocal cords haven't even kicked in yet. Congratulations, you're a meerkat. And spoiler alert, your entire existence will be a non-stop parade of paranoia, starvation, and playing sentry in a murder desert. This isn't a life, it's a perpetual state of high alert. You're born into a communal burrow, a subterranean labyrinth shared by over 20 distant relatives. This sounds cozy until you realize it's ruled by one overly hormonal alpha female who has the emotional range of a pipe bomb. She dictates everything, and her word is law, often enforced with teeth and fury. You are mostly fur, fear, and confusion, a tiny, vulnerable target. Your parents? You can barely tell them apart in the chaotic darkness. And if you're not born to the dominant pair, well, your life expectancy drops like a rock. You're a second-class citizen from day one, a mere statistic in the alpha's brutal reign. Your early days are a blur of suckling, sleeping, and desperately trying not to get sat on by fatter, more aggressive siblings. But childhood is tragically brief, a fleeting moment of relative safety. The desert, a relentless taskmaster, doesn't wait for anyone to grow up. It demands immediate contribution, or it simply consumes you. Before you even grow proper whiskers, it's training day. There's no gentle introduction, no patient guidance. You're unceremoniously dragged out of the den by a half-panicked adult, forced to witness a scorpion being brutally murdered and eaten like a crunchy protein bar. It's a lesson in survival, delivered with zero empathy. Then, it's your turn. You're expected to do it yourself, to conquer your fear and embrace the kill. That scorpion? Yeah, it's not dead. And that venomous tail? It's aiming directly for your face, a tiny, terrifying spear. One wrong move, one moment of hesitation, and you get stung. Twice. You cry out in pain and terror, but nobody cares. Your suffering is just part of the curriculum. Also, surprise, your food. The desert is a buffet for predators, and you are on the menu. Jackals, hawks, snakes, mongooses, even the occasional human. They all salivate at the thought of your soft, furry innocence. You haven't even mastered walking, and you're already expected to dodge death every 5 minutes. Every shadow is a threat, every rustle of leaves a potential executioner. Once you're old enough to stand on 2 legs and look vaguely alert, you're assigned the worst job on the planet, being the lookout. This isn't a promotion, it's a life sentence. It means standing alone, exposed on a termite mound, baking under the relentless sun, while everyone else eats bugs and bonds over shared trauma. You, meanwhile, stare into the horizon like a twitchy, paranoid meerkat version of a lighthouse. Your entire existence becomes a hyper-vigilant scan for danger. A falcon 400 feet in the air? You better spot it. A snake slithering near the den? You better scream like you just saw your tax returns. Your life, and the lives of your entire family, depend on your unwavering focus. Miss a threat, even for a second, and you're directly responsible for your cousin getting turned into a feathered Happy Meal. The guilt, the terror, the constant pressure, it's enough to drive a sane creature mad. There's no sick leave, no coffee breaks, just endless, terrifying vigilance. If you're not born to the dominant pair, your life is a soap opera directed by Darwin, with far more biting and far less romance. The alpha female doesn't tolerate competition, she actively crushes it. If you're a female and you get pregnant without her explicit permission, she'll either exile you to a lonely, certain death, or she'll brutally kill your babies. And sometimes she does both. Think Regina George, but with fangs and 200% more sand. Even friendship is a fragile illusion, a temporary truce in the constant struggle for resources. You're tight with someone 1 minute, sharing a burrow, grooming each other. The next, they're biting your tail over a particularly juicy beetle. And God forbid you try to lead, to assert any kind of independence. Everyone gangs up faster than Twitter on a bad take, ensuring you stay in your place, which is usually at the bottom. The constant jockeying for position, the subtle threats, the outright aggression, it's an exhausting, never-ending battle for survival within your own family. Trust is a luxury you can't afford, and loyalty is a concept that rarely survives the next meal. You live in the Kalahari Desert, aka the all-you-can-eat buffet of nothing. Your diet is a grim rotation of whatever unfortunate creatures you can unearth. This includes scorpions, risky, venomous, but a desperate choice; millipedes, toxic, but sometimes the only option; beetles, crunchy but tragically small; and the occasional lizard, who fights back like it has something to prove. You spend your entire day digging, a relentless, back-breaking search for sustenance. You dig holes hoping to strike bug gold, only to find more dirt. Just dirt. Then, to add insult to injury, someone else often eats the one grub you did find because hierarchy. You cry again, a silent, desperate plea for nourishment. Still, no one cares. Your hunger is your own burden. Every meal is a gamble. Every bite a potential source of poison or a meager offering that barely sustains you. The constant gnawing emptiness in your stomach is a familiar companion, a reminder of the desert's cruel indifference. Predators? You've got them in spades, from the sky, from the ground, from within the shadows. Diseases? Plenty, spreading rapidly through the crowded burrow. Starvation? A daily threat. A slow, agonizing decline. Even the weather tries to kill you with relentless efficiency. A sudden heat wave and you're cooking in your own fur, your tiny body struggling to regulate. A flash rainstorm and your burrow floods faster than a cheap basement, drowning your young. And if you wander too far from the group even for a moment, congratulations, you're now a snake snack with no funeral, no one to mourn your passing. Your disappearance is just another statistic. Oh, and remember that scar-faced rival Meerkat clan that showed up last week? Yeah, they're back, and they want territory. Which means you're about to reenact a desert version of 300, but with more squeaking, more biting, and far less glory. The sheer number of ways to perish is staggering, a constant, overwhelming threat that hangs over every moment of your life. There is no peace, no safety, only the ever-present shadow of death. If you're male and low-ranking, forget it. You're celibate, forever. Your genes will die with you, a tragic end to your lineage. If you want a chance at love, or at least reproduction, you've got to leave your clan and become a rover. That's basically the Meerkat version of couch surfing across enemy lines, a desperate, dangerous gamble. You sneak into another group, a complete stranger in hostile territory. You try to flirt, to charm, maybe get a quick one-night stand, a fleeting moment of biological imperative, and then you run before their alpha male shows up and makes your kidneys his new punching bag. Romance in Meerkat life? It's fast, messy, and almost always ends in exile, injury, or a brutal, one-sided fight. For females, it's no less perilous. You risk the alpha's wrath, the infanticide, the exile. Reproduction is not a joyous act. It's a high-stakes gamble against overwhelming odds, a desperate attempt to perpetuate your lineage in a world that actively tries to prevent it. You finally have pups of your own. Great, right? Wrong. Now you have to feed them, guard them, and teach them all the ways not to die, while still avoiding being murdered by your alpha female if you're not authorized. Every time you leave the den to forage, you're gambling with your baby's lives, leaving them vulnerable to predators or the alpha's cruel whims. And every time you stay, you're starving a little more, sacrificing your own well-being for theirs. The weight of responsibility is crushing, a constant, gnawing anxiety. Also, you just found a cobra in your burrow, and it's not leaving. Sleep tight, knowing that death could be coiled just inches from your precious, vulnerable offspring. Parenthood is not a reward. It's an amplification of all the existing fears and hardships, a new layer of terror added to an already unbearable existence. If you live long enough, which is a miracle in itself, you become not wise, but more cynical. You know the signs of danger, the betrayal in your friend's eyes, the cold, calculating stare of an eagle circling above. You've lost siblings, burrows, and any shred of youthful hope you once possessed. One day you stand tall on a termite mound, scanning the horizon as always. You see a dust cloud. A hawk, a rival clan, a freak dust storm? It doesn't matter. You raise your head, scream the warning cry, a sound born of pure instinct and endless vigilance, and the colony scatters behind you. You stand alone, again, because that's what meerkats do. They are tiny warriors in a world that wants them gone, cursed by birth to a life of relentless struggle. Cute, sure, but forever haunted by the desert's brutal embrace. Still want to be a meerkat? No? Thought so. If this deep dive into the harsh realities of the animal kingdom resonated with you, if you appreciate a good dose of brutal truth, then don't just stand there like a meerkat on sentry duty. Hit that subscribe button, smash the like, and share this video with anyone who needs a reality check. Let us know in the comments which animal's tragic biography we should expose next.